Hello, Wayfarers. Oh, our positioning has moved. Let me just switch you guys around. Uh, that's better. Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Twilight, our very dark and creepy campaign. We seem to outdo ourselves in the creepy factor on this game quite often, which is wonderful. But yeah, I'm going to hand things over to our wonderful GM for, I guess, a bit of a recap before we kick off this next session. Fee.
Okay, so hi, welcome. Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Not going to do a recap as such. Tonight's session is going to be a slight filler session. Just unfortunately, Chris can't make it, and I kind of need everybody here for next session because that's going to be glorious. So tonight we're doing something slightly different. We're going back in time to slightly before when this story takes place. Sorry, I'm talking with one hand, the other hand's occupied. So it takes place probably about 2 weeks before before this whole thing kicked off, before the dead body was found, before the Club Prey came into effect, before you discovered some of what is going on. So you are all minding your own business. Turns out it's Halloween. Halloween, vampires' favorite holiday because easy pickings. You can just blend right in. Everybody goes, great costume. Especially to Cal, he gets lots of compliments for his creepy face.
Amazing.
And yeah, so speaking of Cal, you get a message from your ghoul who says that there's been some weird pictures and updates on social media about this random group of people that have kind of appeared at a private party. They look very odd considering it's Halloween and most people are dressed up, but they still manage to stand out, not in a good way. You also have reports of someone popping pills like they're sweeties and literally eating and crunching them when they're actual pills, and nothing happening. There's a couple of photos, bloody photos, obviously, like a couple of clips of videos and stuff like that. And people are not weirded out because it's Halloween, but they're all like, oh, these guys are going way too far with being this creepy little group. As you get this message, Tabitha, you get a message from Esme, who says, someone may be breaking the masquerade. You need to fix it now. You are the closest people, the closest courtier to deal with this. What are you gonna do?
Do you tell us that the Esme? Do we know? Because we're back in time. I'm trying to think how much we knew about Esme. Have we always known through Tabitha that she's part of the Camarilla?
I don't know, Tabitha.
I can't remember.
I don't imagine Tabitha really has many secrets.
Okay.
She's a bit of an open book with you guys.
Yeah.
It's not that I think it's one of those things. She doesn't openly share things, but things will just fall out of her mouth.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So she's probably talked about Esme in the past because Esme took care of her when she first arrived in the Hague. So yeah, you probably know about her. You've probably never met her.
That's fine. Yeah, it just informs Cal's motivations, as he's a bit of a sycophant. He wants to be in vampire society, so he would immediately be like, "We should do this. They've entrusted us with an honor. We can prove how useful we are."
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, this is. Make sure she understands who managed this. That it was all of us.
Yeah.
If things go well. If not, then we never speak of this.
Tabitha would just send her back a thumbs up.
Yeah. Like, oh, of course. I'll call
Yep.
Lou and be like, Lou,
Hello?
have you spoken to Tabitha?
No, I haven't, darling. Why? What's going on with Tabitha?
We have no time for questions. This call can only last 38 seconds. I need you to meet me at the park. Do
Very
you know
well.
where I mean? Don't say it. Cough if you understand what I mean. I'm hanging up now.
We got a job.
And I hang up.
I like this idea of the two of us hanging out.
Yeah, it's just like
I feel like it was
"Why have I done
probably
this?"
like, well, I mean, Halloween's probably one of Tabitha's favorite times
Yeah.
because music parties, people
Yeah.
dressed as stuff. Cal loves it because you can literally walk about
Yeah.
without having to worry about.
I think it's probably the most fun Carl as a person is all year because he's not super preoccupied with avoiding everybody, right? So he can be a little bit like, let's do this. Let's be scary. Get what we deserve for a year, for one day a year.
Lou has the exact opposite approach to Halloween, which is to be the most slutty and
course, yeah.
just
That makes sense.
provocative person that he can be in public because it's Halloween and everyone's doing that.
Yeah. When we meet up, Carl is looking at you like, oh yes, of course. He like looks at your costume up and down.
Yeah, just like probably in some kind of like devil outfit, which consists of a pair of red short shorts.
Yeah. Carl's going to be like, do you not understand? This is the one day a year where our mythology meets the street and we can embrace.
Darling,
The
I
dark side.
am an artist. And this is the one time of year where people like to go out and not be themselves.
You look amazing.
Thank you, baby. I spent very little time making this and a lot of time enjoying it.
That's nice. This is the one time of the year I feel I can be myself. So I do not
course.
understand, but if it makes you happy, I suppose that is all and life is about.
We live very different lives, Cal, but I'm so happy to actually see you out in public.
I think
Wow.
Tabitha's dressed up like Bowie.
Yes, that's right up.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, that
darling,
makes sense.
you are rocking that look.
Yeah.
Have you got like the
Mm-hmm.
blue zigzag across the face?
Yes.
Carl's literally wearing nothing different. He's just in a dirty hoodie. Like,
Yeah. But you're
Well-
not hiding, which is nice.
On
yeah,
brand.
exactly. This missive from the Camarilla, it could be a test. We should try to succeed at it. My ghoul, Lugalda, she, as always, has proved useful. And look, and I'll show them the pictures. Lou,
Okay.
you consumed narcotics much in your previous life?
Not in my previous life, no. I was very straight-laced.
Well, that does surprise me.
I'm
well-
sure it does.
I still remember human physiology. They should not be able to consume this much without dying.
No, that would be a bit much for them if they were human.
Yes, if is good.
Do we know where that is?
Yeah, do I?
Yeah.
She's at the party,
you-
right? So
Yeah, you have an address. Like I say, it's been kind of on social media of
Mhm.
someone, and then it's obviously kind of like made the rounds because it's actually something properly weird on Halloween. People are a bit like, it's like literally you see this. There's folk that are like, he's eating them like a bag of Smarties, like just.
yeah,
Walking
Cal will
about with a
shoot
handful of
Tabitha a
pills.
look and be like, "Of course I do," and I'll share the address, and then immediately be like, "I could scale up the side of the building and enter unseen." And oh wait, no, we don't need to do that.
No, you don't, darling. Enjoy it.
Yes, yes. You're all dressed up as well. Perhaps we could go to a party.
Absolutely. I would love to take you to a party. Absolutely, Cal.
Yes.
Tabitha will
Yes.
link arms with him and just start walking towards the direction.
Yeah. He'll go with you and whisper in your ear like, "This is going to be so exciting. We're going to be able to do something for the Camarilla. Isn't this the greatest day in a while?"
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
It's going to be wonderful, darling. We're either going to be dealing with a bunch of new vamps, some other weird creature, or a bunch of humans that will soon be dead, ripe for feeding, and we will get so fucked up.
Yes.
That sounds amazing. Best day ever.
Well, we shouldn't make too much noise. But yes, I agree. Wait, do we need weaponry if you believe it's going to be some sort of creature? I'm starting to have doubts and regrets.
I think we're okay. I mean, well, that's the point. Well, you can always disappear, and
Yes, procure us weapons, and
Tabby, you,
it is. Yes.
you are also pretty sneaky if you need to be, aren't you?
If I need to be.
Yeah. And I can just be fast as anything, so.
Good. Well, let us, when we're in this place, let's make sure that we don't go too far from one another so we can adapt.
Oh, definitely.
Sounds good.
Right. We'll make our way there, right then.
Excellent. So you get to this kind of residential area. It's got sort of like big blocks of flats. You can tell immediately what one is the one that you're looking for. All round the front entrance, like the door's propped open. All around the front entrance, there's Halloween decorations. There's no lights on any of the bottom floors. The top floor is just, there's lights in every window. It's like if you look at it too long, you're gonna have an epileptic fit.
God.
And there's music blaring, and there's like decorations around every window. Basically, they've just gone all out. As a great excuse to get drunk, have a party, just, you know, all around having a great time.
Yeah, living it up.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys heading up?
Yeah.
Heck
right.
yeah.
Okay, so you get to the top floor, and there's these two guys standing at the top. They have t-shirts on that say security, and they've got a clipboard, and they're looking
Oh, wow.
slightly worse for wear. As in, you know, they're not actual security, because you can see like beer bottles and things around them, but they've got like a clipboard security on their t-shirts.
Let's go. I think I've got this.
After you, Lou.
Yeah.
I immediately just saunter over to these two guys. And just go, I heard that this was the place where one of the best parties in the city was happening right now. My friends and I would very much love to get involved.
Well, I mean, you're not totally wrong. Is your name on the list?
I don't entirely know. I guess I'm a noteworthy enough person that it could just be on the list. But I don't think that's entirely relevant either way. Lou is going to use... do we get a sense that these two are human or vamp or...
Yes, they're definitely human.
Human. Lou's going to use ore.
Okay.
Which basically allows him to sway a group of people onto his side.
Excellent. I just want to see what I need to
No, that's fair.
roll against.
So I
Here you go. Here we go.
think I roll presence and charisma. Or presence?
Manipulation.
Manipulation. That was.
Yeah, and composure and intelligence. Oh no! Well, these guys are not very composed.
Oh, no.
Well,
They're a little bit unsteady on their feet. So I will say, because Lou is kind of. How many points do you have in fame?
I do not have fame.
I have 1 in fame.
Yeah, it might be one of your advantages, Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
it's
might
not-
be an advantage.
So I don't have
No.
fame on my advantage list. I have stunning, all access, base haven.
Okay, that's fine. If you've got stunning, is that 2 dots that you've
I
got in
have
it?
4 dots in stunning.
Cool.
Wow.
Okay,
You look
add
good
4
in this
dice
devil outfit.
then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Add 4 dice then, because you're essentially trying to persuade them.
Your awakening thing and all the
Yeah.
people around you.
Yeah, totally
Hell
right.
yeah.
Everyone's neck's hurting because they're whipping so fast.
Okay, let me see what I got. Oh, that's a good. That's insane. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 regular successes and 1 critical success.
Ooh.
Wow, right. I'm not even going to bother rolling because these guys don't have that many dice. So basically, sorry, I just handed like a plate of warm cake, so I'm very excited right now.
What happens when you roll 11 dice? Roll, isn't it?
Yeah, they only had like 5 between them, right? So they clearly weren't going to succeed in that. So yeah, so you start doing the whole like flirty thing, and obviously they're a bit. They've been drinking for a while, to be fair, and basically they're just very much like, okay, and you go, and as you walk in, they're like turn around, and they're like that, staring at your butt.
He
as
is
you
very
walk
much,
back.
yeah, walking to show it off. He's also wearing a pair of heeled boots as well, just to fully show it all off.
I imagine it's like hot pants
Hmm.
that he's got on, like red sparkly hot pants.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Like that with like a kind of like net vest and then a pair of devil horns.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, smoking.
Mesh
Right.
vest, that's the word
yeah,
I was looking for.
yeah. They basically don't even look at you two. Tabitha and Cal just don't even look at you.
I'm not having that. Cal's gonna like leer his face right up to them and just be like, "Happy Halloween."
They're very much like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Everyone look
Recognise.
at me!
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
they were
right?
properly like, oh yeah, that's a nice R. Then it's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, there's like weird face. But,
No mood killer more than Cal's face. Yeah.
but one of them's like, excellent makeup, dude.
This is the ultimate tease of just
Yeah.
Leave him with a horrible last thought, give a real sour aftertaste.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when they say nice makeup, he's just like, yeah, sure.
That is
And,
more or less the equivalent of every relationship Lou's had since he became a vampire. Really wonderful
Yeah.
and fun to start off with a really sour taste.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys,
Before we go any further, do
Basically-
they look like they have any weapons or anything? They're not armed, these security folk. Okay, cool.
no.
Right.
No. If you actually roll an intelligence check for me.
Just straight intelligence?
Just straight intelligence.
Okie dokie. Um, 3 successes, just normal, and 1 fail.
Okay. You can tell from how comfortable they are that they're more than likely going to be residents of the building, or that they know someone who stays there, so they've spent a lot of time there.
Mhm.
So they're not like looking over their shoulder, like expecting to be attacked or anything like that. So yeah, they don't have anything on. They're basically just playing a role.
I was
be
gonna say, it
honest.
sound like 2 drunk guys who've decided they're security at a party, right? They're not
Yeah.
actually anything. They're like, let's go.
No.
God, the door broke. Yeah, okay. I get that.
Yeah.
now.
Okay, so brace your ears, peeps. We're gonna go. This is gonna be loud and chaotic. So as you walk down this corridor, there's doors open, and every apartment door is open. There's music blaring from every single apartment. That's why it's all coming together. It's all loud and confusing. There's people everywhere. There's folks spilling out in the hallways. You can hear people like, you can see folk like making out in the halls. You can like hear people having sex in other rooms. Like they're spilling out into the hallways. There's like drugs everywhere and booze everywhere. You can tell this party's been going on for a while. It's loud, it's chaotic. It's probably Tabitha's scene. She probably feels quite at home in this sort of chaotic environment.
I'm trying to decide if she likes it or not, if I'm honest. Because of like the layers of all the different songs, if it's too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much for me, but
no, the environment's fine. It's just a matter of like the.
Yeah.
I think she'd be okay because it's keeping the other stuff at bay.
Yeah. So yeah, what do you guys do? Like, say there's doors open everywhere. Like, say there's folk. Basically, almost everybody's either high, drunk, or a combination of the two. You can tell this party's been going on for a very long time. Because all of those pictures were probably from about an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
But even at that point, you could tell the party had been in the swing for a while. So what are you guys doing?
I would like to try to intuitive with my aspects to see if I could zero in about where, if there's anything, if it's kind of like trying to hone in or sense if there is a non-human entity.
Okay.
That makes sense. Like use premonition to.
Yep.
Get a better idea.
It does. I just want to see what you would need to roll for that.
I guess it would be premonition rather than sense unseen.
Yeah.
So it's all in aspects. So it says.
Just double checking. So.
Yeah, the music's getting into me as well now, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
weirdly
properly.
working.
Over time, it gets you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, that's fine. It seems like it's just a thing that you can do. So, no, you can't. Oh, actually, hold on. Are you trying to see if there's anything non-human?
Yeah.
You can sense that there's someone that's a bit strange. Like not entirely human, but not entirely something else.
Okay.
It feels very familiar though. Not in the sense that you know who this person is, but that you felt something like this before.
Ooh.
And you can also sense that there were vampires around, but they're not here anymore.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Tabitha, when you do your premonitions, what does it look like? How do we know anything's happening?
I think she'd probably close her eyes first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd probably start doing this like this drumming thing with her fingers, kind of trying to get into her own little zone of being able to focus in on
outside
something.
the rhythm.
Yeah, and then at some point she'll probably open her eyes and she won't be looking at anything, but her eyes will be darting around.
Oh, okay, that's a cool tell. Yeah.
And so she's kind of, she won't, if you try to talk to her in those moments, she won't hear you.
You're gone. Yeah.
She's just gone.
I think when she starts the drumming, Cal will probably look at Lou and be like, "It's happening.
Yes.
I hope it's useful."
Usually it is.
It is. And I'm just gonna stand there, like looking at you really expectantly, like somebody, like it's a fax machine. It's taking a long time to print out. I'm like,
she's so adorable when she's like that. It's like watching a dog dreaming.
How weird these three are.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can tell that this strange person is coming from the room at the end of the hall. It's also where you can sense the other vampires spent most of the time they were here.
Okay, so we're concerned. End of the hall. There's a thing. There's not human, not something different.
Kindred?
Not kindred. But I've sensed it before. I don't know. I can't. It's like when you have a word on the tip of your tongue and you can't remember what it is. It's kind of like that. I've sensed this before, but I can't remember. Vampires, the kindred were there, but they're gone now.
Interesting.
We're mostly concerned about the kindred, aren't we?
That is worrying. If we are in somebody else's territory.
We should investigate this, though.
Yes, of course. There's no going back now. We need to know more.
I think it was a given we were going to end up in someone else's territory if it was an issue with exposing the masquerade, but yes.
This is true. Well, either way, we'll end it. So.
Sure.
I have a really weird question. Is there like candles that are just around, just to the side, or?
Probably. Like I have set up the theme. Like there's like jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, and like Halloween, like spooky ghosts hanging places, and like fake spider webs all around, and like fake bats flying from the ceiling and stuff.
Okay.
It's amazing how much the humans miss the mark when it comes to our stuff.
Because they wish they could be like us.
I think just because they read the weird stories where vampires do different things.
Yes, they're very useful. Misinformation is deadly.
Like Sparkle.
Yes. Oh my god, that book was amazing. That whole series was wonderful. Convincing a bunch of human females that we were wonderful, loving creatures that just wanted to be their boyfriends. Oh my god, I never ate so well in my life.
Actually, yeah, I can see how that would be very helpful to you.
Yeah.
Tabitha's gonna walk down the hallway.
I did not feel represented at all in those books, but my kind have their own movie. It's a good one.
You do. Actually, I quite like that.
Yeah. Tabitha's going. And he's going to start following you.
Oh, shoot, we should follow. If one person should not wander off on their own, it's Tabby.
If there is like a pencil or a pen that's just on the ground, or like even a tube of lipstick.
There'll be something around.
She's going to grab a tube of lipstick off the ground. She's going to uncap it, make it really big, and just hold it on the wall while she walks down the hallway.
Yes. I like this. We look like some real mean punk gang now. Just by that little change, the whole vibe of us is weirder.
Someone noticed and they were like, yeah!
Yeah, exactly.
Because you look like Barry, so they're just like,
run. Exactly. I really like it. Let's totally change the vibe of our presence at this party. I dig that.
Tabitha will just wave and then throw the lipstick at them.
They just like catch it and they're like, wah! And then like down a drink. It's just like chaos everywhere.
I like this place.
Rob, can you do another intelligence roll for me? Just a straight up intelligence roll. Just want to see if you would know if you were potentially in someone else's territory or not.
I got 4 failures, so no. I'm too
Excellent,
busy getting to grin at people for the first time in a year. Yeah, he's just looking around smiling.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, so you head up to this room at the end of the hall. And it's full of people. Everywhere. So there's, again, as you walk in, there's basically a couple almost like dry humping by the door. There's like pills and drugs everywhere and like booze everywhere. Almost every surface has some form of alcoholic beverage on it, if there's not a human sitting on it. So it's very chaotic. Everybody is very, very drunk. You can still feel this person, and as you look over, there's this woman. She's quite tall, slim. She's kind of looking a little bit like Morticia Adams. And so she's like in like a kind of skin tight black dress, lace everywhere. She's, you can tell that she's faking having a good time. Like she looks a little bit like rattled. All her friends around her are like, it's gonna be okay, and like giving her drinks and stuff, but she looks a little bit rattled.
How many entrances are there to this like area we've just walked into?
Just there's the door you came in, and then there are 2 doors from off this room. It's like a open plan living room, kitchen, dining room.
Okay, but this is like the entrance, as it were. They can't leave.
Yeah.
All right then.
No.
Being like the predator kind of person Cal is, he'll just stand by that entranceway and be like, "I'll make sure nobody leaves while you do your thing."
Of course.
I mean, he'll just stand next to like some guy smoking or something and be like, "Hey."
He's just like, oh, whoa, dude, like, whoa.
I know. Special effects, etc. Don't touch it.
Is your face melting? And he's like this
at
trying
all
to
times.
touch your face.
I'll let him touch it if he reaches in, and then I'll just grin and like show my fangs when I do it.
And you just hear this guy going, ah! And like waving his hand around. He's like, dude, that was so gross. And he's like, Mike, come here, touch this guy's face.
I'm gonna look back to you guys and be like, I think I've caused a distraction. Nobody will be able to leave now. And yeah, I'll just keep these like wreck heads with me so that no one can run down the hall.
Oh yeah, there are a group of like 7 guys that are all just like, oh my god, they're all like squealing when they touch your face.
I'm gonna ask them
like,
for I'm gonna ask them for a joint, and then when I smoke, I'll inhale and show them that it never comes back out because I don't have to breathe. And I'm like, yeah,
and they're just
hold it.
Like they're all high as a kite, so they're all like,
yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna blow their minds.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So yeah,
the whole party. Like...
It's like the stereotypical like stoner frat brothers thing where they're literally all like, "Oh my god, that's the coolest thing ever!"
Do it again. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, just causing a ruckus.
But the whole time I'm doing it, I'm literally just watching the room that everyone's in. I'm like a security camera as far as our team is concerned.
Excellent. So what are Tabitha and Lou up to then?
What's the room look like exactly?
It doesn't have like a little hall or entrance or anything like that. It's like you open the door and you're straight into like living room, dining room, and kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's like 2 doors that come off that you assume are like a bedroom and a bathroom.
Yeah.
I think Lou is temporarily distracted by the commotion that Cal is causing and just kind of looking. It's like so wonderful that the. Always wonderful to see the dog having a good time.
Yeah. I think it's her.
Ooh, very fun. So, I guess how do you want to play this?
Well, you're better with people.
It's very true. And she is very much dressed for the mood.
Fine. We need to find out about those kindred, don't we?
Certainly. I'll go and introduce myself and see if she knows. And I will saunter my way over towards the Morticia Adams looking lady.
I mean, I'll follow. I'll come with.
Okay, so as you guys get closer, obviously every now and again you just hear like this wah from the door. And then it's like more and more people have started to crowd round the door, so you know for a fact that nobody's getting out of there in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, Cal. So yeah, as you get closer to this group of people, there's obviously this Morticia Adams looking person, and all these people surround her, and they're all like, "It's okay, you know. I mean, they were really, really weird, and you won't tell us what's going on." And she's just like, I know, you don't have to worry about it. It's been handled. They were just like crazed fans. It's fine. And yeah, they're basically trying to kind of comfort her. And she's just sort of like brushing them off like she doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
Do I recognize her?
Let's see. Roll. Hold on, I will tell you in a second. Okay, if you do intelligent and an occult roll.
Oh, there's 2. Okay.
To see if you've heard of her.
And I'm getting, it's 6 or over?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's 3 successes.
Okay. Yeah, so you vaguely recognize her as like this weird sort of streamer kind of online. She talks a lot about like paganism and kitchen magic and other witchy shit.
Yeah.
Her username is Bruja, but no H.
Oh wow.
No, so it's just Bruja, which you guys would be aware is very similar to another clan.
Is she a ghoul?
She could
Possibly.
potentially be. She's not exactly kindred, but she's not exactly human.
I think we need to find out about our friends.
Sorry, you went very quiet there. What did you say?
We need to find out about her friends.
Right, yes, we do. I will kind of make my way in towards the crowd of people surrounding her.
Mm-hmm.
And very much just focus my eyes on her and try and catch her eye.
Okay.
Being there is such a big crowd of people, he doesn't want to be too overt, but he's very much kind of trying to just let his looks do the work for him in this moment. And basically try and capture her attention so that she engages him.
Okay, so you're essentially just trying to charm her from a distance.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, do a charisma roll for me.
Okie dokie.
You got this.
You could probably add your stunning dice onto that as well.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
It very much plays into it tonight.
God, I wish I could dress like this all the time. That is
I know.
1 critical failure, 1 critical success, and 3 regular successes.
Okay,
And then 2 regular failures.
She's... Okay. How many successes did you get?
3 regular successes and 1 critical success.
Okay, so you just beat her. She got 3 successes. Okay, so she is obviously like waving her friends off, and she sort of looks around and like catches your eye. And you can see she properly does like the look up and down thing, and she's a bit like but you can see she's still trying to like her friends are still there and talking in her ear. So she's acknowledged you, she's seen you, she's made eye contact, but she's not done anything at the moment. All her friends are still like, oh my god, what if this? And then every now and again you just hear a wah! the doorway, and folk are like shouting nonsense words because they're all trying to get Cal to do weird things.
How many people are there?
What, in the apartment or around this person?
Around this person.
There's probably about 5 or 6 of them.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what we could do to get her away from them. Go. Go. Do it. I'm gonna go into the crowd.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down next to her.
Okay.
And go. I know this is really weird, but I'm a bit of a fan. And I kind of dragged my friend here to the party. And she'll point at Lou. And he wants to say hi. He's a little nervous to come over and do it himself.
Okay, she's immediately like, he's shy. Are you sure?
Tabitha
This guy
will just
is
say
walking
whatever.
about almost naked.
Yeah.
She's just like, really? And then she looks at you. She is going to.
Tabitha does not have the best intelligence. I'm just gonna say that.
That's fair.
If you do a charisma and manipulation roll.
Ooh, I have that.
Just because obviously she's gonna try and like kind of fight against that essentially. But she's very much like a hell you wanna do.
Yeah. The notion that Lou would ever be shy.
Yeah,
No, I just thought
exactly.
that was
That's
really
what
funny.
she's like.
Okay, let's see. So that's 1 success, 2, a 3, critical fail, 4 successes and a critical fail. Yeah.
Okay, she got 2 successes and a critical success. So you're probably about even, but she's very much like, what? And she's like, wait. Okay, so your friend is shy.
Maybe I'm making this up, but he just wants to say hi. But there's you have a lot of people around. She's like whispering to her so the other people didn't hear.
I imagine it's very much like still like, yeah, there's lots of people.
No.
Really...
it's too loud.
I mean, it's really noisy in here.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, she's like, fine. And she's like, give me a minute. And she kind of turns around to people and she's like, can you just go and get me like a drink, maybe a few joints from the guys at the door? She's like, waves them all off. And then she's like, what do you guys want? She's like, I've had a night and I just want to chill and not have to deal with that shit or whatever this weird nonsense is.
I have no idea what my friend here just said. We are looking for some friends who were here earlier.
The moment you say that, she's immediately like, those fucking arseholes.
Yes, those are the ones. That sounds like them, at least. I assure you, we are nothing like that. They are friends of ours, but they are assholes, and they cause a lot of trouble, and we're trying to track them down so we can more or less shut them up.
When you say friends, she immediately takes a step back and becomes very suspicious. Like, immediately is like, whoa, time out, you're friends with them? Get out of my apartment.
As she takes a step back, Lou will take a step forward. And just kind of look her in the eye and just go, no, not until we know where they went, because we have to stop them from being assholes.
I think his use of friends is a bit loose here.
I'm speaking poetically. Don't actually like those fuckers. But we know them, and we have to deal with them. So, my darling Tish, If you do know where they went, please do say. Because we don't want them ruining anyone else's nights.
Okay. So I'm just trying to think, because... Just trying to think what the best one would be for this. Because obviously you're trying to persuade her. Okay, if you roll persuasion...
Sure.
For me and see what you get.
Just persuasion.
Yep.
3 successes.
Okay, so insight.
I'm doing very well tonight.
Oh god, she rolled shit. Right, okay, that's fine. And she's just like, look, I don't know exactly where they went. And she's very much just like, you can almost hear her thinking, if I tell you what you want, you're going to bugger off and leave me alone, and then I could just get on with my night. So she literally does like info dump on you. And she's like, they came here because my friend was looking into something for me and couldn't help me, and then these other people got involved and I don't know why they were there, and they were very fucking trippy, and then we had to go outside, and then he appeared, and then it was like a big yeah, and then they kind of like argued.
Who appeared? He appeared?
You can see she's a bit like, shit, I don't think I should have said that. She's like, never mind, right? It was someone that I knew and it was okay. And
no,
they had a kind of like argument and a fight, and then they all sort of like, and then I got another message to say that I had to go to this place and I didn't want to go, so they all went, and then I just came back in here. Then she's like, here, and shows you like text message that's got an address on it.
We'll take that.
Can I grab her phone from as she's showing us this thing? Can I scroll up to see her previous messages?
You can. They're all threatening. It's very much a thing of, there's stuff like, we know what you are, we know you've killed people, you're a bloodsucker, and things like this, and it just goes on and on and on. Things like this, like, we have proof, we know what you've done, we know where you live, we know who, you know, where you're from. No, it's a completely anonymous number.
That is interesting.
They want her to go to that address.
Yeah, when you start scrolling up, she's going to snatch the phone back off you.
It looks like you might have a bit of trouble.
That's why they're all dealing with it, and I am here trying to enjoy my night.
Well, if we knew who this person was, this he that showed up here,
you don't need to worry about him.
Okay.
He is not the problem.
Who is the problem?
Whoever was sending me these. She's like waving the phone about.
You don't know who that is?
No, I don't. Like I told everybody else, and like I told the police, I don't know who it is. Every time I block their number, they manage to find me again.
Okay.
I
happen to have a friend who's very good with phones, and we get that you're uncomfortable and that you want this all to be done and dealt with. If you give me your phone, I will get it back to you. I promise you that. We might be able to help you.
I don't care. They're already away dealing with it. I haven't had any messages since they left. which was about an hour ago.
And these are the people that you were so angry and infuriated by, and that when I said that we were friends of theirs, you became extremely hostile towards us, and you trust them to deal with it.
I don't trust them as far as I can throw them, but at least they started doing something. And at least they believed me.
I believe.
Unlike other people.
I believe you. I don't believe that you're a bloodsucker.
Well, of course I'm not.
No.
She's like, those sorts of things don't exist.
No, of course not. But I personally keep a low profile. But my work is out there. My friend here, she has a following of her own. And we deal with people who harass her on from time to time. So, all I can say is this. You obviously have no reason to trust us. We've only just met. But you also have no reason to trust those people either. However, you are hedging your bets that they have dealt with this situation for you or are going to deal with this situation for you. Why not double your odds? Let us have that information from your phone so my friend can track the number. And we will investigate it ourselves. You have nothing to lose.
Except my life.
We wouldn't let it come to that. And no one needs to know that this has happened. I mean, look at the crowd of people over there. They are very much preoccupied with the melty face man in the corner. No one even needs to know anything.
It's really good.
It's pretty incredible, actually. I hear he works in like a Hollywood department doing this stuff.
Yeah, sure.
On vacation here in The Hague.
Okay, can you roll a persuasion and probably a manipulation?
I certainly can.
This time, unfortunately, your looks don't come into it. She doesn't trust you as far as she can throw you.
It's fair. That was...
I kind of want to use aspects.
To do what?
Grab her hand and use her as a channel to try to see what happened earlier.
I have 2 regular successes, 2 critical successes, 1 critical failure.
Wow. That's a hell of a roll.
Yeah. I'm rolling 8 dice.
Yeah.
This is shit Lou's good at.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that, Sarah, you can do. I'm
trying to think if that is kind of like hedging on breaking the masquerade.
Well, if you think she's a ghoul, then...
No, it doesn't really matter. She'll do it.
I was gonna say, I was like, if you think this woman is a ghoul, she's already aware that vampire, or at least she seems to be aware that vampire.
I think Tabitha doesn't have much self-control anyway, so we'll just do that.
This is true. Yeah. Okay, so what are you trying to do?
Because she made a big deal about and we don't know who these vampires actually are. Tabitha wants to see what happened because she just rambled, and it was very confusing. It was a lot, and so she just wants to see for herself if she can, or at least if she doesn't see that, then see something about the specific situation. Maybe seeing who her kindred is specifically. Just I don't know if Tabitha has enough direction in her visions and her premonitions, but she's trying to focus on finding out more of who he is and who these vampires could be. whether that shows earlier in the day of like what happened, or some other kind of vision that gives their visuals and their faces and maybe a name.
Okay, so you, as Lou's obviously doing this, you can almost see like her resolve is starting to crack.
Yeah.
And as this happens, Tabitha grabs her hand. So you get, it's very chaotic flashes of these, what you assume is these other vampires. There are 6 of them. They range in, obviously there's a couple of, you've got like this absolutely beautiful woman. You've got someone that's dressed in like outdated clothing. You've got like a hipster looking one. You've got like just a weird group. And you get flashes of a slightly similar conversation, or at least you get flashes of them explaining about the text messages and how they know, they have a feel like they have an inkling of what she is, and that for some reason they are terrified of the Camarilla. And it's literally, it's very chaotic. There's like this older guy in like a proper suit and tie looking so prim and proper that's literally the one popping pills like sweets. Just standing in the background.
Do I get a sense that they're young vampires at all?
They're a variety of ages.
Okay.
You can kind of tell by the kind of clothes they wear. Obviously, like the hipster is seems very more like a bit more modern.
Yeah.
But there's other ones that are still, the kind of clothes are a bit outdated. There's some of them going on about click and collect and not sure what it means.
Okay.
And things like this, it's like very chaotic. It's almost like the voices are kind of overlapping a lot.
Yeah.
So you get like flashes of like faces and like actions with like odd words.
Yeah.
You then get a very stark picture of this person who he looks very wild, like he's got like this really wild look in his eyes. He's kind of got like almost like a kind of bad boy vibe, so he's got like this kind of fairly long hair and like cheekbones, but he's got like a really wild look in his eyes. And you can almost hear her in a slightly longing tone of voice being like, just saying the Duke. And that's all you get.
Okay.
And then with that role, freaking ridiculous role there, Matthew, she gives the phone to you and is like, look, just take it and go. I just want to be done with this.
It'll be done soon.
And then at that, she literally walks away from you, like she's just done. She's had enough.
Well, let's go and retrieve the mutt, and we can get ourselves some. See if we can get ourselves a location. There's also this address that we can check out, but let's see if the number really leads there.
Okay, so are you gonna now attempt to leave the room?
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk on over to this crowd of people. And I think Lou's gonna use Awe again.
Okay.
Because it's a crowd control ability, basically.
Tabitha's... Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, while you're in there, like, Tabitha's gonna go to the kitchen and try to find a lighter.
Fair enough.
I mean, easily done. Why? No, actually. I feel like I don't want to know at this stage.
Probably don't even have to go into the kitchen. There's enough joints around here.
That's true.
Probably. Yeah, you could probably just be like lighter, and there's about 7 flopped into your hand.
Or if there's a fire alarm.
Well,
probably not inside the inside
no.
the apartment.
No.
There's sprinklers?
Not in the apartment, no. And you didn't notice any as you were walking through. That doesn't mean that there's not any, but you didn't notice any on your way in. But no, there's no sparklers. Sparklers? Sprinklers.
Sprinklers. I feel like she just wasn't. The next thing is like, just start a fire and then everyone will leave.
Whereas Lou's approaching this crowd using his aura ability and just goes, sorry everyone, my friend and I, the melty face man, have places that we need to go, so if everyone could please just clear out of the way and make a path, that would be really wonderful.
Okay, if you do a manipulation of presence roll, because there's a lot of them and they're very much loving Cal right now.
Cal, I imagine you're just watching everybody.
Yeah.
So you see Tabitha starting to try to start a fire in the kitchen.
One regular success, one critical success, no critical failures.
Okay, I
would like to use unseen presence to just dip out of this crowd while Lou's talking to them, and sleuth up to Tabitha and be like, maybe not now.
Okay, well, the crowd don't, they kind of look at you, Lou, because I actually rolled quite well on that one. 2 critical successes and a success. Okay, so they kind of look at you, and they're a bit like, some of them are very much like, hot piece of arse. And then, and then they all kind of turn to go look back at Cal because he's been like the most entertaining thing ever, and then find that he's just disappeared.
He's just gone.
And they're all like, what? And like the whole place explodes, and they're literally all like, oh my god.
That was like, oh, I thought we
fucking
needed a distraction,
Houdini.
but we don't need that.
Maybe not now, Tabitha, just in case we have to come back to this place.
Right.
Let's leave.
I'll put the lighter in her pocket.
A bit of his face just drops onto the floor, and he looks down at it and it's like, yes, that was a close one. And he'll just rub a bit of his flesh into the floorboards with his boot and be like, yeah.
Nice.
Look, did you get anything?
This place is gonna smell.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be gross. Good. Tell me outside. And then I'm gonna pull my hoodie down and start walking out of the party and be like, goodbye, Red Pete. See you later, 420 Frank. Keith. Goodbye.
And they're literally it's literally a case of, as you disappear, the whole crowd has literally gone mental, and they're all like, it's the greatest day of my life, and they're all like, ah, cheating, and there's booze flying everywhere, and folk are throwing drinks all over each other, and they're all just having chaos.
As chatted, I would have got all of their numbers, by the way, so that if they ever do cause me problems, I'll hunt them down.
I can quite believe that. Yeah, this is what everyone's name. So it's you disappear, and then it's you're halfway down the corridor, and then you start shouting folks' names, and they're all like, "Wow!" They're like, "That was amazing! You need to come to the next party, dude!" And they're like, "Whoa! Bring your face paint kit!" Woo-hoo! And they're all like, "Yeah."
But yeah, we're out of character, I like them, but Cal would hate them. So in character, he's going to be like, some humans are boring.
Some of them are.
One of them repeated the same thing 13 times.
Yes, it's funny, with so limited years, they do tend to repeat themselves a lot.
How many times can one say, I'm so high right now? I get it. I said I understand. You said it again.
Right now. I'm so high right now.
That's not a challenge, Tabitha.
I was using a rhetorical question, Tabitha.
I imagine she's now just walking down the corridor
yeah, that's how I imagine it.
High right now.
I'll look at Lou and be like, I apologize. I should have been mindful of Tabitha. Let's go outside.
Lou takes one last turn to the crowd and is like, remember everyone, don't stay in school and do drugs. And then leaves.
You just hear them all explode. They're all like, "Wah!"
Cal will actually laugh at it, but like, that's good. If they all die, that'll be on you.
Yeah. But no one will.
So high right
No.
now.
Tabby,
Yeah,
really?
I imagine we catch up to on the stairs, and I'm just like, we better let her see this through. I don't like to interrupt her. Could be the
I
start
just
of a
imagine,
premonition.
like, you've walked past.
It's easy for
like,
you to say, Cal. You don't live with her, and she could keep going until late into the.
That was
I
a decision
imagine-
I made early on.
I almost imagine like Tabitha's gotten to like these security guards, and it's just like, I am so high right now, and they're very much like, yes, you are. And then as
Yeah.
you keep saying it, they're like, yeah, on you go.
This is
Amazing.
Very
so. This is so reminiscent of my Amdram days.
Okay, so you leave the party, make your way out of the building. What are you guys gonna do now?
So we go. Well, Cal, we got this phone, and there is certainly a number on there of interest. They've given an address, but I don't know if you can work any magic and see if you can work out where this number is at the moment.
I wish Reinhardt was here. He'll take the phone off you and be like, I don't do magic, but
No, but this
I have ways.
This is technology, my friend, and you certainly have the monopoly on technical skill.
You're so kind, Lou. Yes, as
Oh,
told you
I-
before.
Very much appreciate your talents, my friend.
My favorite human invention.
I saw.
Oh, good, she stopped.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought you were gonna go. I'm so high right now.
I like to imagine the conversation like we're talking back and forth. We hear her say "I" and we don't respond, and then when it's a different word, we're like, "Oh!" We drop everything we're saying. We're like, "Yeah, Tabitha's back online." Yes, Tabitha. What is it?
I saw the kindred that she was talking about.
Where? I didn't.
Nobody
came in or out of the room. I made sure of it.
No, I grabbed her and I saw.
Oh, I see. Capital S. Yes.
That's a good way of saying it.
Yes, that's how I try to differentiate.
Yes, and they were. I think they're a range of ages. I saw the one that was popping pills in the mind's eye, and she was quite. There was one. It said Duke. I don't know if that was his name or a title. He was
I
quite
hope it's not a
wild
title.
looking.
Wild looking.
Yeah.
Hopefully not his title then. The thought of a duke would be much more refined.
So I think that was probably hers.
Who was the lady? I still don't understand why she had a flock of sycophants around her.
She was she's a streamer. She's got a following. She does witchy things, and her username is Bruja. Without an
What?
H. Without an H. Yeah, she does.
Do you believe her to be a pretender then?
I believe her to be a Google.
Ah, a pet.
Hmm.
I see.
That makes sense.
It does, yes. Ghouls often are pretenders, really.
Hmm.
Can you all make an intelligence check for me? I want to see if you could potentially recognize this Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, just in straight intelligence.
Just straight intelligence, yeah.
2 successes. 2 fails.
Ooh, critical success.
Nice.
2 successes. Lou is not super intelligent, but that was a really good. I rolled 2 dice and got a 7 and a 9.
Yeah, I rolled 2 and got a crit.
Nice.
Okay, so as you start talking and as Tabitha starts to describe this person that she's seen, when she gets to the part about how he's got like really wild eyes, something sort of triggers it's almost like, Tabitha, you've never met him, but the more you describe him, you see Lou, something kind of clicks, and then you're like, oh, because you've heard Lou describe him in the past. So obviously I imagine Cal possibly might have heard as well, because he is from Lou's clan.
Ooh.
Oh.
He he is not a nice vampire. He basically he is a bit off his nut. He was before he got turned. He basically, you know that he only really got turned because he has this sort of like almost like a marble like facial features, like he's just got this beautiful face, but he's got many screws loose, and he is convinced that the Camarilla is out to get him. Has been almost since he turned into a vampire and found out about things. You also know that he got kicked out of his clan because he was very careless about breaking the masquerade.
Okay. Yeah, real loose cannon.
Yeah. Not good news.
No.
I'm going to send a text to Esme.
Okay, what are you going to say?
I'm going to send a vampire emoji, a skull and crossbows emoji, and a question mark.
Yes. Oh my god, if she gives us permission to do a hit, this is the best session ever.
It's one of those where like it comes up with like Esme typing for like ages. Partly because they're like, does that mean, you could almost like hear her thought process of, does this mean a vampire's dead? Or does this mean they want to kill a vampire? Does this mean that there's death surrounding a vampire? And then it's like, she just texts back going, you do you, Tabitha.
I'll send back a thumbs up.
Man, and that's how the Camarilla goes down. Just send someone to death. I love it.
Misinterpreting emojis.
Yeah, someone gets
I think
iced.
it's also the fact that Esme knows that you need to use, like, you have good judgment, for the most part. But you also know that breaking the masquerade is very bad. Like, not even with the added threat of obviously like anything else, just the fact that there are many more humans than there are kindred, and if they knew vampires actually existed, you wouldn't stand a chance.
You would lose. Yeah, that's the whole point, right? Our power is the secrecy and the myth. Yeah.
Exactly. So even without the threat of potentially another Inquisition, or without the threat of even the Camarilla, you know that breaking the masquerade is like a no-no. So she trusts that you know this and you believe that, and you will use your judgment, and she will clean up your mess like she's done in the past. Only a few times.
It's awesome. It's got real mafia. I'm loving it. That's what it's about.
Because she's got a soft spot for Tabitha.
So Tabitha will say, "Oh, if we need to kill him, we can."
Oh, wonderful.
Wait, hold on.
We have permission, and she'll
we have
show
permission. Now
she'll show the emojis.
Cal's like really like animated at first, like literally like he has to push up his like face to make sure his eyes can kind of stay in and look, and then he's like,
yes, that looks legally binding.
I imagined it would have more ceremony behind it. I don't know. I'm not disappointed, but
let's look past the fact that we might have permission to end this creature's life. We are not combat. We are not fighters. I can shoot a gun. That's about it. I do not have martial prowess, and I know that neither of you do either.
Well, I've always liked to believe we combined our unique skill sets so that we wouldn't have to fight.
We did.
We can, if we need to remove this Duke, we could perhaps orchestrate that without a
He
mano-a-mano
is
confrontation.
he is Toreador, which means he may be open to a seductive play, but I mean, anyone might be, but we could play that route. We could, making use of your invisibility and your ability to be unseen, Cal, could also be helpful.
We have ways.
We have ways.
Last question. Mechanically speaking, because this is essentially a prequel, does that mean we can't use where our current character sheet is?
Just your latest ones. So just because obviously those are sort of
new abilities
in line with that story, which is why I've not said anything to Rob about his little pet project.
Yeah, that's fine. I have a ability that would be very helpful, but it's okay.
Damn it.
I mean, next session.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you've got the phone. Is Cal going to do anything with the phone?
If I can, I would definitely do my tech spiel. I probably have to go back to my nest for that, so he'll have to pop off, go back. He doesn't share where he lives, so he would go.
I'm thinking of you guys taking note of the address that was the last message sent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can go down.
Are you gonna look into it before Cal disappears?
We can go and have a look into this address. But it's definitely worth checking out that number in full.
Okay, so as you guys are about to split up, Cal, you get a message from your ghoul.
Yes,
going,
Magelda.
going, you need to get here now.
I'll immediately start walking.
No, and send you an address.
Oh.
And it's the same one that is on that text message.
Okay.
And then send you a link and a photo that they've picked up on a security camera of some slightly blurry shapes around this building.
Okay. My ghoul, who is infinitely better than theirs, has found this, and I'll show Lou and Tabitha. We need to move now. I believe this is very current.
Well, let's go and make a move then.
I will text her the number and say, "Can you find out who sent these messages?"
Okay. She'll be like, "I'll get back to you in 10."
Yeah.
So you guys head to this address. It is actually sorry, just yanked my own hair out. That was clearly what I was gonna do. So yeah, you guys get to
I'm gonna start using Unseen Passage, by the way.
Yeah, I
will too.
I am very present and visible.
That's fine. I imagine it's like we dot onto different like street corners and stuff, so that if anybody jumps out on you, I would immediately.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is a well-rehearsed routine of I keep the attention on me to make it easier for you guys to be unseen.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
then
that's
you
it.
guys simultaneously
symbiotic.
watch my bag.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so yeah, you guys know that it's a warehouse. The address goes to a warehouse in a shipyard. You guys are aware of it because it's how some of you got into the country to begin with.
Oh, wow.
It's through a shipyard.
So
much
is this
easier.
like a known vamp shipyard then? Lots of vampires.
Kind of. It's one of. I mean, when you guys first started, obviously in turn started traveling and doing what you were doing, ships were like the main way to get
Mm.
around. Even nowadays, unless you know for a fact you can hide in a plane or a car, a ship's your best bet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Ships
So-
and trains probably.
Yeah. But everyone knows this sort of shipping yard. It's also a good place for potentially dumping bodies.
Okay, yeah.
Or well, not dumping, disposing of bodies.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of knows of this sort of shipping yard. So it takes you guys about sort of 10-15 minutes or so to get there. As you are there, you get a ping, Cal, from your girl going, basically giving you information. It's a warehouse in an industrial park. The numbers are all different. It's like they're using a website to produce like random numbers
Okay.
every time, but that IP address is coming from this warehouse.
All right. So it's all coming. I'll say that to the group, but it all stems from here.
Well, that's helpful.
She, I should say, has also found out that there is a private party has rented this space out for a week in cash. The entire industrial park is closed for the night for Halloween. Everyone wants to obviously, well, it's kind of a private event, so they can do what they want, so everyone's just kind of leaving them alone. There's very basic security in there, just mainly at the gates. And so yeah, so you also discover that the phone is connected to a website that basically is linked to this private person or group that's rented out the warehouse. They're trying to find more information about that.
Okay, yeah.
At the moment, it's basically the number, the original number is linked to the phone, and it's basically the one that they put down for their contact details to rent the place out.
Oh, okay, so it's definitely all the same group. All right. Yeah, I'll share all that with the gang.
Strange.
This Duke of yours, I know your Toreadors have an intrinsic kind of
which is gorgeous.
fascination. Well, yes, but you like painting, for example, correct?
We like things that are beautiful.
Yes, a waste of time, but still, I digress. What does the Duke like? Do you know?
Do I know what the Duke like?
When you knew him, even then you didn't know him. He is basically he's very, very paranoid. What he really, really wants is to stay ahead of the Camarilla, to not be like to do what he wants without being caught, if that makes sense.
Gotcha, yeah.
So he wants to be able to walk about, do what he wants to do without basically without someone staring over his shoulder. Let's see.
Maybe you could tell him then, Lou, that we're here to help him in that way. might be our way in. Although, again, I don't know how we kill him after that. Could just burn this whole place down.
That's a possibility, though. Not the most
Arthur brings
subtle.
out the lighter.
Yeah, I was thinking smoking gun from before. Chekhov's gun or whatever.
Okay, Matthew, can you do an intelligence and an insight roll for me?
If this goes well, we're officially the most capable in the past, by the way. So
we peaked early.
Been crushing it this session.
Yeah.
2 critical successes.
I knew it. We used to be good. We used to be
What
good.
happened to us?
It's all prey. It's all prey.
It's all good. It's all good downhill. Yeah.
No, prey. I blame prey.
Okay, so you know that his grasp of the masquerade is kind of sloppy. More than once he's hunted for blood only to have to leave his prey alive to know who he is, or with clues that point to him.
That's real bad.
Yeah, he doesn't really care about that. He's more concerned with the kind of bigger violations, like getting like photo or video evidence, or showing off like some of the obviously disciplines and things that you can do. Like the disappearing in a room full of people. But to be fair, nobody will believe them in the morning, so Cal's absolutely fine. But yeah, the kind of like flashy ones that you can get where like folk can fling blood at each other and then control a person, and some of them are like big and flashy, and he's more concerned about that and having like video evidence rather than people knowing who. Or there being bodies left with clues to kind of figure out who he is. You personally haven't had to clean up after him, but you're aware of a few people that have had to clean up after him.
Lou is definitely seeing a bit of a reflection of himself in this, but maybe not quite as bad. It's like, well, the Duke has always been a messy person, and really has only survived this long by just trying to stay ahead of the game. I guess maybe it's caught up with him now.
Yes, I'm sorry, Lou, but I think he maybe moves.
The Toreadors abandoned me a long time ago. I have no love lost for this guy.
Yes, well, that is why we are all together, I suppose. And together in this. So we get inside, get him isolated, and how would you say, Tabitha? Skull vampire? Question mark. Grins.
Yes.
Yes.
How?
Because Alex,
How
that is the question.
Fee, just remind us, like, what are the ways you can kill a vampire in this universe?
You can kill a vampire by setting them on fire, chopping their head off. Let's see, hold on. What are the other ways?
Sunlight.
Yeah.
The stake just paralyzes them, right?
Yeah, stake through the heart paralyzes them. Let me see if I can find it.
I have one in Brawl.
Yeah.
Fighting is better than what I've got.
Yeah. I have 0 as well.
Yeah, our fighter is not here.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant.
2 in firearms.
Yeah, it's fine though. We're a smart group. Most ways we get around stuff in this hasn't been.
No.
Yeah. Hold
like
on.
if we get into a one-to-one fight, as it were, then I feel like we've not executed what we would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm just trying to check if there's anything
Brains
else.
of a brawn.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I'd agree
I think we
with
got to
that.
make a choice. If maybe we don't even talk, like, as much as I want you to talk to him in character, maybe the smart thing is we don't even do any cool epic, like, you'll run out of time stuff. Maybe we just do get him somewhere and Tabitha burns him alive and we're just like, job's good.
Yeah, so vampires can die from decapitation or burning by fire or sunlight.
I like it specifies burning by fire. That's no ambiguity.
Because I think there are let's see, because I think there are slightly different ways to do that. Because I think there's
when a vampire is burnt by sunlight, does it? Do they completely disintegrate, or do they like partially disintegrate but leave a skeleton, or do they just look really badly burned?
it depends how long they're in the sun for. But it's, as far as I can tell, it's just it burns them alive. So it's like if a human body was burnt, eventually, if it went on for too long, they would just basically kind of crumble into dust. It's not like in like Buffy or whatever where they just go poof. It takes a while. Obviously, if it's like midday sun, obviously it's gonna burn you alive faster than if it was like sunrise or sunset. Obviously fire, it's the same. If you put it out fast enough, you can recover from it. And basically the most surefire way to kill a vampire is to chop his fucking head off. Just for viewers as well, decapitation works for many creatures.
It's funny how many things that kills.
Yeah, vampires included. Yeah.
My weakness is decapitation. How did you know?
Yeah.
Everybody's weakness.
Yep.
I almost feel like we should attempt a staking. If we can't move, he's a lot easier to deal with.
Indeed. I'm going to look around to see if there's any like dock equipment we could snap off to treat as a stake.
He was part of that group, wasn't he?
Who was part of what group?
Duke was part of that collection of vampires that I saw.
No. He was the one that you saw at the end where she sounded like very longing. Yeah. So you could probably infer from that he's the one that turned her into a ghoul.
Okay.
He was not with that other group.
Okay.
My thinking is I could try and talk to him, but as if I were an old friend. After all, my reputation with the Toreador is probably as bad as his is at this point.
Yes, that's a good angle.
And whilst I keep him busy, you two use your stealthing, your sneaking abilities to get up close to him and drive something stake-like through his heart. And once he is completely paralyzed, we can take him, decapitate him, tie him up outside, and let the sun kill him in the morning. There's a few different options, but if he can't move, he can't resist.
Indeed, a man with no legs cannot fight. I like the idea. If you can get into whatever room he's in, try to find a place with a window. It would be easier.
Yes, I'm sure I could.
Can I find a sharp bit of wood to be a stake around here?
Okay, so you guys are at the warehouse now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys kind of get in, you see the power go off. Like as you're kind of walking up to the front gate, the power goes off. And then you hear people shouting. You see weird things on the building. You're not entirely sure what it is. And then all goes quiet. And then about 30 seconds later, there's a massive big explosion.
Okay, that
And fire everywhere.
I have a feeling your friends beat us to the punch.
And then you
Jesus.
just hear gunshots going everywhere. What are you guys doing now?
That is holy. Okay.
Opportunity, perhaps. While they kill each other, we go for the prize.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We have to be careful of the fire.
Yes.
Thankfully, the gunshots aren't going to be too much of an issue for us. They might hurt like hell.
I don't want to be shot.
No, it's not fun.
You get over it.
Eventually.
Ruin your outfit.
Like, show you my hoodie's got like bullet holes in it where I've been shot before. And it's,
We
like, 50
need
years
to get
old.
you
But
some
I
new
like
clothes.
this outfit. I worked hard on it.
You look great, yes, but I like looks over at the burning building. We are on a limited time schedule if we want to impress your friends at the Camarilla, which of course we do.
Yeah.
Just stay behind me, Tabby. It's very... if they shoot at me, there's a very slim chance they'll actually hit clothing.
That is true. That is true.
So there was an explosion in the warehouse?
From where you are, you can't tell exactly where the explosion came from, but you can see the flames. Obviously, like the light from the flames from where you're standing. So it's almost like you're at the entrance, and then it's like it's all the way over here is like where the warehouse is, and the explosion's like on the far side.
Yeah.
It seems like it's outside.
Outside.
Outside the warehouse, yeah.
We should probably go where that isn't. I imagine
Agreed.
whoever was in it will be running away from it.
Yes.
Yes.
We should move.
I'm gonna give you a piece of wood, Lou, and be like, you might be the best, the closest to be able to use this.
Oh yeah, there's like pallets everywhere that you can.
Yeah,
just
that's what I
break.
figured.
Yeah,
Just snap off.
I'll take
We'll all get
some.
one. Yeah.
We'll
I'll
each
have
take one.
Bit of wood.
I look at it and go,
Blank.
I have nowhere to hide this.
Yeah. Eli looks you up and down. Yes. Yeah, perhaps I'll hold on to yours, and
Yes,
I'll just take it back. Like,
I can just picture him going, I have nowhere to.
yeah, yeah. And Cal will be like, I want you to remember this.
Don't try and change me, darling.
Yes, man, that was sick. That was sick. What a dream of it. Let's go.
I almost imagine if you did try to hide it somewhere, you'd get splinters in some very uncomfortable places.
Even on death, that would be unpleasant.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna spirit away and yeah, try to do what Tabitha said, away from the fire. See if we can catch any strays running away.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you kind of skirting around, because there's like different warehouses, but the one you want is the one that's there was the explosion at.
So I'll dive in and out of like other ones in the shadows till I get to the place we want to be at.
Okay, you don't really hear or see anyone else. You don't really hear anybody running away. There are still gunshots and shouting going on in this warehouse. As you get closer, obviously, it all gets louder. Are you all with Cal, or are you all kind of making your own way?
I'm with Lou.
Yeah, if we're...
I just trust that Cal is around.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
And I probably am.
We trust Cal.
You look up and I'm just stood there motionless, looking down at you and just like giving you an affirming nod, like, yes, I'm here. And then I away.
Cal is in canon the creepy faced thing from Phasmophobia's lobby.
Yeah, just the eyes.
Just the eyes following you everywhere.
Just stares at you wherever you go, and you're like.
If you keep zooming in on the image, you can see me. I'm one of those kind of things where you're like, there's someone in the background, and you got to keep enhancing. You're like, oh yeah, he was there the whole time. That's who I am.
Jesus, Lily.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so I imagine you probably get to the warehouse around the same time. Again, there was gunfire. There's still the fire going on. And they're shouting, and then all of a sudden it's like everything stops. And you can hear people talking, but you can't quite make out the words. There are 2 entrances into this warehouse, one of which is currently on fire.
Let's not go for that one.
Of course you will. And the other one, there are bodies there, not on the ground, but there are people standing in the doorway. Obviously, Cal's going through the fire door, because why wouldn't he go through the fire door?
Yeah, we'll go through the non-fire door, I guess, and towards the people.
Okay, are you trying to be sneaky about it?
I'm keeping my unseen presence.
Yeah, as much as we can.
I can try and be. I can be sneaky. I'm not terrible at it.
No, you can do it.
I don't have unseen presence, but I have got decent stealth.
Okay, if you want, it would probably just be you, to be fair. Then, do you want to roll stealth for me?
Just stealth?
Yeah, just stealth. They're not overly paying attention to the door, so
that's fair.
Oh wow, that was way too many dice.
2 successes.
Nice, well done.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got 1 success.
Oh,
so
cool.
they don't notice you come in. So basically, it's almost like there's this weird standoff going on. So in front of you, it's kind of like people standing in like a kind of group, and you recognize Duke in the middle. But he's standing looking over. It's like a maze of like shelving units. It looks like they've purposefully been moved and knocked over to kind of like create a bit of a maze. In kind of just off from the middle of the maze, there's a crane. On this crane, there are 3 vampires. You, Tabitha, only know this because you recognize the faces.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another person. You're going to assume that they're mortal because they're getting dangled by essentially the scruff of their neck. Oh. Which you wouldn't really be able to do to a vampire. So you've basically walked in on this sort of standoff.
Oh.
What do you guys do?
Well, first I'm going to give Lou a approving glare at his success at sneaking in. I've noticed you've snuck in. Good job, dude. But I don't know. Just kind of like looking at you both, like what is going on?
Well, there are.
So, where's Duke?
He's probably about 20 feet in front of you. Like, this warehouse is massive, but there was only the 2. So he's not directly in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's like you're standing almost like you've just snuck in through this door.
Yeah.
And it's like him and another 5 of his courtier are with him.
Yeah.
And they are, again, about 20 feet in front of you. Okay. But like I say, you can see other... Actually, let me see. Can everyone do... I want to see how much you would actually notice. If everyone does just a straight resolve roll for me.
Resolve, yeah.
Yep, resolve.
1 die for me.
That's 3 successes.
No, no success.
One success.
Wasn't a critical
Okay.
failure though.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Tabitha, you notice that there are another. Actually, no, there's only 2 vampires. No, there were 3 on the crane. Sorry. Yeah, you notice another 3. You're going to assume vampires because there's holes in their body.
Well, you said so. There's 3 on the cranes, and I recognize them from my vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see another 3 bodies standing upright. You can't see their face, but they have holes in their body, so you're going to assume that they're vampires because they're still standing. And there are some humans, some with guns. There's a few with metal bats.
Okay.
It's almost like there's been a bit of a fight.
Yeah.
And you can tell that this human that's being essentially dangled by the scruff of their neck is essentially glaring at Duke.
So total vampires. We have 3 on the cranes, 3 other ones that are standing up.
Yeah.
We got Duke.
And 5 with his
and
beaks.
5 around them.
Okay, yeah, we can't fight all
12
these.
vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Plus a mortal that's hanging out, and guys with guns that are probably
Yeah.
Well, this is fine.
The guns are the people with guns. I feel are less of a problem, but yeah, the 12 vampires ain't great.
So they're having a standoff.
Yeah.
But the people on the crane seem to be against Duke and his people. Is that who the standoff's between?
It's more. You feel like it's almost like a 3-way standoff between the 2 groups of vampires and the humans.
Right. Okay.
Maybe we should just go.
Yeah, right. Let them take care of each other. Say we did it. We're like, yeah, killed them all.
We could just set off a catalyst.
Yeah, right. That's actually a good idea. Just
fire
a shot and we'll cut each other down.
I would like to try and slip. Do any of the people that we're near have guns holstered or just not in their hands?
There's nobody close to you. Basically, you're like right by the door. Everyone else, you get the sense that there's probably more humans in the sort of maze of shelves, just by the amount of gunshots that you heard before you got here. Basically, between you and the load of shelves is Duke and his courtier. So there's no other humans around you.
Okay.
feel so unprepared.
Yeah,
no, we're not.
I know, it's great.
And every time a vampire would just come in and like ripple their heads off, but we don't have those.
No, I kind of want to just walk in like, "Hey guys, this is a little bit awkward. Maybe we should just sit down."
So as you guys are obviously like trying to assess the situation, you hear this human. He basically starts shouting at Duke. Basically shouting at him, going that that Duke killed his brother.
Okay.
And left clues as to who he was. And he's like, I've spent the last 1.5 years tracking you. All of these other people have lost someone because of you.
Yeah. I like these guys.
And he's like, and he's like, if I can't take you down, one of them will.
Well, that would solve that one problem.
Yeah. Maybe we do lock all the doors and burn them all to death. Just everyone goes.
I mean,
not a bad call at this point.
It's
I honestly think it's like the most efficient solution. Just like
two doors.
So as
Are there
you
humans
guys,
outside? Were there humans outside?
they were, but they have come into the building when all the proper guns started.
Okay. So there's nobody outside.
No. But you do know that it's only a matter of time before the fire brigade gets here.
yeah.
That's true, and they'll put out the fire.
Yeah. So as you guys are discussing all of this, you see one of the other vampires on the crane say something to this human that they're dangling. And all of a sudden he picks up his submachine gun, because he has a submachine gun, and starts shooting all the other humans. Okay. But it's like his eyes are glazed over.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay.
And like all these other humans, like obviously the other vampires are getting shot, but it's painful, but they're not going to die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's shooting all the other humans.
Right.
When he's done that, the vampire basically drains him of blood. And then all of a sudden they start fiddling about with the crane. Now all of this is happening. Duke and his guys have kind of gone, oh my god. Partly because it's like, you know, there's been gunfire, and then because this threat has now been eliminated. When you guys were discussing things, were you still hovering by the door?
I don't think we've gone very far.
I don't feel like we've gone very far into this mess, no.
Yeah, if anything, I've climbed down and I'm closer to you guys now, like, WTF, what do we do?
So...
Okay, can everyone do a... Let's see, either a dexterity or a survival check for me. One or the other. Or you could probably do strength.
Going with dex.
I'll do survival.
One success.
One success.
Three successes.
Okay,
nice.
So
we're doing really good.
As you guys are like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And Duke and all of his people are like shouting and arguing amongst themselves. You hear a noise, and you look up, and this crane is slowly tilting towards you guys. And then all of a sudden, it's just like it snaps, and the crane literally splats down, and like as it's coming towards you. And luckily, you guys all managed at least one success, so you didn't get squished by the crane. But Duke and his people got squished by this crane. It's very, very heavy. Obviously, it's a mess of why, because obviously it was used to pick up shipping containers. So this thing's massive. It's very heavy. Yeah. It's covered in wires and spiky bits. All of these other vampires have been squished. They've been impaled in some way or another.
Is Duke impaled?
He's under there somewhere.
All right, we need to get his body then.
You can see limbs sticking out of things.
Yeah.
All these other vampires have vanished. These other 6 vampires have all vanished.
Well, that's just...
Like actually poof, or did they're gone? They left.
They've left.
Okay.
Oh,
like as you were sort of dodging the crane, because obviously as the crane was falling, it had obviously like the hook was like thrown over towards the top of you, so you all had to scatter as well. So in that time they've all just vanished.
I'm gonna try and fish out Duke's body then, and like, as soon as I find it, stake him.
Well, I mean, he's pinned. Just leave him.
No, we should show the camera that we did it.
Okay.
I feel like in this moment, Tabitha's really paranoid now because she's had to scatter. There's a lot of chaos and there's a lot of
Yeah,
vampires.
it's
She
real
doesn't
intense.
know. I would like to use Auspex to see unseen to make sure that there's no vampires that are wandering around using their unseen passage that I can't see.
Okay, there is not.
Okay.
The only one is Cal.
Okay.
It's almost literally like as the crane was falling, they've
Yeah.
all just ran for it.
Okay. Who's still alive and around then?
If anyone wants to check, it would be investigation and survival.
Together.
Yeah.
I have no points in either of those.
I've got
Excellent.
3 in. I've got 3 in investigation. I'll look. I'm not
I've
really
got-
looking for anyone alive though. I just want to find you.
I've got 3 in survival. I want to make sure
Okay.
that for
Yeah.
I am looking around for
well.
some kind of sharp, like a saw or something like that in this warehouse. Some kind of like
Yeah.
weapon that
Finish
we
him
can
off.
use to decapitate him.
Yeah, totally. I got
Oh,
1 crit
there's-
success.
Okay. Well, Lou easily finds something. You guys find that 3 of the 6 of Duke and his courtier have basically been decapitated. There's not really anything left above the head. As in, like, there's a few bits attached to the neck, but it's basically just like mince at the top. Lovely little like squished.
I'm gonna kick it off anyway, just to be safe.
Fair. So the other 3, their heads are intact.
Hello.
2 of which have basically been pierced enough in their chest to count as a stake through the heart. Funnily enough, the only one that doesn't is Duke.
Stake
He
him.
is very, very, very unwell. Obviously, it would take probably a good few years for his body to repair itself.
Well, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have that amount of time. Yeah, Cal's gonna put a stake into his heart immediately, and then turn around and like hiss at Lou and be like, "I've got him."
Wonderful. I take whatever saw type thing I picked up.
This has got real horror movie. Yeah, you can go over it's like
I-
dripping
Just
with
kind
blood.
of stand over Duke and kind of look down at him this way.
Tabitha
Hi.
wants to know how the crane fell over.
Yeah, can he
Brute
speak? Yeah.
force.
Oh,
Before
Oh no,
she-
like literally you can see that the crane, it's almost like they've managed to, it took a lot of effort. Like
Yeah.
when you're looking at it now, you can see that it was like all 3 of them essentially like managed to bend the metal enough.
The vampires that were on the crane.
The vampires that were on the crane
And they're gone.
managed to,
Are they gone now?
they're completely gone.
We need to leave.
Like,
yes, quickly. We must do this quickly.
Of course.
Is Duke able to speak at all, or is he too?
I
Not
mean,
long.
not after you staked him in the heart.
Well, no, yeah. Before that, was he talking, or was he just totally like smashed?
He started to try to talk, but he was very,
He's too weak.
yeah,
That's
he's not
fine
in
then.
great shape.
No, we don't have time for a cool monologue. I wanted Matt to have a sick speech to him, but there's no.
Oh no, I'll do it whilst I'll do it whilst I'm cutting.
Well,
Is there-
yeah.
Is there more fuel around?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
You could probably easily enough find stuff to burn.
Okay. Yeah, Tabitha's gonna start throwing it all over where the bodies are.
Yeah,
And
Cal's gonna
that's
look
fun.
over and be like, "Yes, now it is that time."
Yeah.
Lou's going to place the saw on this guy's neck, start sawing.
I'm gonna film it on my phone for the Camarilla.
Let's go. I hope you
I'm
know
just
that there's no
seeing-
hard feelings. You know how it is when you're living life so dangerously and on the edge, and I know it quite well myself, as that used to be me, but I wised up. Shame you didn't, otherwise you might be in a better position right now. And
Matthew, can you please roll strength to see how long it's going to take you to
Sure.
saw these?
Please fail this roll. I want it to
vampires'
take
heads
ages.
off?
Yeah. I would. You said this
One
guy has really
success.
wild eyes, right?
Yeah.
I'm
The
gonna
one-
take his eyes. So while he's doing this, I'm gonna be like, "We should get these for evidence, and I'll just use my claws to just kind of like, and pull them out.
That's not paying attention to anything that's going on. She's building.
Yeah,
a fire
you're doing a good job.
Just like she just whistling away.
No, she's composing a new song in her head. I'm so high right now. I'm so high right now. I'm high
this
right
is a
now.
real intense scene.
Yeah. I'd imagine she's almost like snapping her fingers, beating like tapping
it
along.
makes the song really dark. His eyes are coming out, the saw is going left and right, and you just hear Tabitha singing in the background. It's actually really eerie.
And then it's like you've got like a little refrain going, "Building a fire."
Hear the sound of like gasoline in the background. Yeah, Cal's gonna hold up their eyes to the camera and be like, "This is for the Camarilla," and then I'll turn it off and put them in my pocket and be like, "Do what you want to him, Lou."
Oh, I got one success. I don't know how long that's going to take me.
I mean,
I have 2 dying strength, so...
Yeah, you're starting to kind of cut it close, like as you get towards the kind of last vampire to obviously decapitate. You do hear sort of sirens in the distance, so you know you have to be quick.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sorry, son, he's on fire.
Just kidding. Look, really, this is purely a business transaction right now, and I really have no hard feelings against any of you. This is just really, God, this is the most labor I've done since before the war.
Yeah, Cal's got his hands in his hoodie pocket, just looking at you like this is a very bizarre scene.
Yeah.
I almost imagine it's like he's trying to saw wood, so he's like putting his like hand on the head and then his knee on like the chest.
Yeah. But Cal's just got his head like, I can honestly say, in my life and unlife, I have never seen this.
Thankfully, my costume is red.
Yeah, like blood's getting everywhere. Cal's like looking around. We should go. I think Tabitha's going to run out of patience.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I think I'm pretty much done here. Should we take his head for the Camarilla? I don't know.
Maybe. Yes, that's probably a good idea. And he'll like pick it up. I guess I'll carry it.
Yes, again, can't really carry anything.
Exactly.
Well, good thing it's Halloween and this blood should not be too much of an issue. Let's go.
Before we go, I'm gonna hold him like, he's not very beautiful anymore.
I mean, weirdly though, even in death, with like the eyes missing and the blood, it almost still looks like he still kind of looks like a statue. Like you can see why someone turned him into a vampire.
Yeah,
like
actually,
he's got like this weird kind of gross beauty about him.
I'll rephrase that because Cal wouldn't say that because he doesn't really understand beauty. He will ask you, Lou, but like, is he still beautiful now?
I mean, yes, he's still a little bit beautiful. Obviously, the lack of eyes. Eyes are such an important part, I think.
Run!
Right, yeah, we should go.
Yeah. It's getting hot in here.
Yes. You could vanish. I'm gonna use. I've got celerity, so I could.
Oh, you can book it. Yeah.
Sarah, can you roll craft for me?
Craft? Oh, I don't have anything in craft.
Just roll 1 dice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I just want to see basically how well you can do.
I rolled a 5.
Okay. You are obviously kind of like building this kind of bonfire-y type thing around these bodies in this crane. But as you start to run away and you see the fire, you notice that it's not gonna burn anywhere near enough to hide it from these firefighters that are coming. And obviously you're doing this to not break the masquerade, and this is very well what you could do.
What is the crane powered by?
Crane is unoperational.
Was powered by, yeah. What was it once powered by? Was it electricity, gasoline? Yeah.
Basically it would be oh my god, the word escapes me. Yeah, it would be basically like hydraulics and electricity.
Okay.
That's the word I was looking for. I was going to say pneumatics, but that's air, and that's not strong enough.
Just seeing if there'd be. This is a warehouse full of crazy stuff, though, right? Like that gets shipped in.
What else is,
If anyone wants to look for anything specific, they could do an investigation roll and see how well.
I want to find like a petroleum tank or something. Just blow it up, burn it up. Whatever will accelerate the fire.
Do an investigation, and possibly streetwise. Actually, if anyone has streetwise,
I have lots of streetwise.
Nice, yeah.
I have one.
And I want to look for anything that is super flammable, like
if you do investigation and streetwise,
like the gas.
I got a success.
I got one success as well. Let's do this, team.
I got a critical success.
Nice.
Two critical successes.
Yes, Tabitha.
And another success. So 2 crits.
Excellent. So you are literally like, oh my god, run, and then you turn around and you look and you're a bit like,
oh, never
crap,
mind.
because you can hear sirens. And then basically you head out of the door, and like down and round the corner is literally like a couple of like barrels essentially of flammable things, like just full of random things, like kind of oil, obviously like petroleum, different sort of flammable things. You find like crates of alcohol and stuff as well, more than enough to set this place ablaze.
Brilliant. Let's bring it
Imagine
back.
those like those tanks they use for like barbecuing and things.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, let's get
gas tanks and stuff. Yeah, but basically you guys have like 4 minutes to get this properly up in flames so that it'll burn as much evidence as possible.
We'll put the tanks on.
Put the tanks in. I'm gonna pick up one as a gun on the ground.
I was gonna say I'm gonna pass someone a gun. I wouldn't use it myself.
I can take a gun.
Yeah, I'll hand you 2 guns.
Okay, so you guys managed to put things as close to the flames as you dare, while still making sure you have an exit route.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to assume that when you get out of the warehouse, that Lou is going to essentially shoot these barrels.
Yeah.
In that case, do a firearms roll for me.
Cool. Just firearms.
Just actually firearms and probably dexterity, because you're going to need fairly good hand-eye coordination for this.
This has been
2 successes and a critical success.
Yes, this is
excellent.
Yep.
So you're literally like two-handed. Literally like two-handed, and you're like this, and just literally like this fancy movement. You're like, and then you hit everything, and then there's just this massive explosion. And
I don't think Lou would two-hand firearms. Lou trained in firearms in the French Resistance. He knows how to use a gun.
Do it properly. Yeah.
I imagine though it's very much like you've maybe got the other one like there, but you've managed.
Present, but
it's probably going to be. I would have thought maybe like 2 or 3 shots in very quick succession, and you've hit exactly where you needed to hit on everything.
Nice.
And then it's literally like you hear thud, thud, smash, and then just proper explosion, and you guys need to properly book it because the explosion's that big and it's that hot that if you get caught in it, you may very well not survive.
I am rapids reflexing Serenity getting the fuck
excellent
out.
Nice.
Excellent.
It's the first time I've used that ability in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't really needed to run away from anything yet.
True.
No, that's true.
Some of Cal's face probably drips on the floor from the heat, by the way, so you can see like all of his muscle tissue and stuff underneath now.
Nice.
So you guys managed to make a break for it. You know with a fair amount of certainty that there is not going to be much evidence, if any, left by the time they managed to put this fire out. What do you guys do now?
Well,
GTFO. Go on, yeah.
I say we head home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably pretty late at this point.
It's
Probably, yeah. You can see. I mean, it's not quite to the point where the sun's starting to rise,
Not
but
running, yeah.
it's gonna be fairly close to morning.
It's pretty late, and whilst I can probably get away with walking for a short amount of time covered in blood, I don't think a prolonged encounter with someone is ideal at this point.
Agreed. And whether that other notarial group was, I don't want them looking for us.
No, definitely not.
Tabitha, and I'm going to
Yeah.
give you his head, the Duke's head. Please give this to your Camarilla contact and tell her it was an honor to be of service.
You're giving Tabitha the head?
Yeah. Seems
She'll,
like something
she'll,
like
she'll take it. I was like, oh, I hope it doesn't start talking to me.
that. He will like go kind of wide-eyed, like, is it?
And roll for no, I'm joking.
The Duke comes back. Yeah, but like, thank you. I'm going to go now, and then I'm going to vanish.
Yeah, we'll head back home. I'll text Esme. A happy face with a thumbs up. And then I'll send another one after that. That will be an arrow and a night sky and a bridge.
Okay, so she's not entirely sure about the first half, but she knows exactly what the second half means, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, she meets you at your usual place.
Yeah.
I imagine by this point you're probably covered in like soot stains, and
Probably. Yeah, if there's time tonight, then she'll meet tonight. Otherwise,
there probably is, because it's a slight detour on your way home, but it's not majorly out of the way. And to be fair, do you really want this head?
No.
For the next, yeah.
Tabitha does not want the head.
Yeah.
She's
That's what I
really
thought.
genuinely paranoid it's going to start talking to her
exactly.
at any minute.
Yeah.
That's totally legit.
So that's why I was like, yes, it's probably covered in soot and, you know, probably a few burn marks on your costume.
Yeah.
It's just stands there just like, what on earth, Tabitha?
We fixed the problem. And she'll hand her the head.
Yes. I'm actually
Just
really proud of us.
She's very much like,
it.
what is that?
Cal
Whose
told
head
me
is
to
this?
get this is Duke, that he was the problem.
And you can see her going, fucking Duke.
But he's not a problem anymore.
He is, just not in the way you would think. And then she's like, takes the head literally by like a few strands of hair, so she's not going to drop it. And she's like,
it's very much the cat
Tabitha.
bringing a dead mouse to the owner's
Yeah.
house.
It is, isn't it?
Honestly, it's like, I feel like Tabitha would almost be doing the same. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
They're both like, ew, I don't want it either.
I don't want it.
Yeah, she's like, thank you, Tabitha.
So there was a big standoff in the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a lot of humans who were tracking down Duke. They were killed by other vampires, and so was Duke, another group. But we cleaned it up at the end to make sure that nothing would be discovered.
Okay. Thank you. I feel like I'm gonna need the whole story. But you know what? And she's literally like this, going, not. I will talk to you tomorrow, and we will make this all go away.
Okay.
And she's literally like,
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Yes.
thank you, thank your other little friends for me.
Yes.
She's literally like, ugh. Just no thanks.
Right, Tabitha will go home, composing her new song that she'll be playing the next time she works.
Amazing, yes. Which, if this was a TV show, would totally be like the opening credits, right? Like that's how the opening credits got made.
It'd be the closing credits would just be
Yeah.
like Tabitha singing, going, "Oh, I'm so high," and then it's like the next day it would be like, "Dud, dud."
Yeah. That's
Going-
where that song came from. That's good how they did that. Yeah. The last scene I want for Cal is he's going to be watching his ghoul sleep at her flat, and he's feeding Duke's eyes to his cat.
The cat's probably, I don't know if cat would eat it. I mean,
His
maybe
cat would.
eventually, but would very much be like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better. Yeah, playing around the eyeball. He's just like, his Cal's gaze goes from like the sleeping ghoul over to the cat, and it's just, and then eventually he slides the door open that he lives in the wall, and just kind of folds into the wall and closes it, and the cat stays in the room, keeping an eye on
Playing
the
with
ghoul.
the eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Lou goes home and has a bath.
Yeah,
Very vigorous.
Candles.
Yeah, rose petals.
Absolutely. The water's just turned red almost immediately.
That's cool. The real good images. I like that.
Yeah. What's Tabitha doing before she retires for the night?
Well, it's Halloween. I think on the way home she'll probably find a straggler person and feed on them briefly. And
It's
then,
easy enough to do. There's enough drunks, high stone.
Oh yeah, she'll
people.
find the most wasted person and feed on them, and then she'll go home and compose the rest of her songs in her closet and fall asleep doing that.
Excellent. Yeah, and then literally like a week later, you guys, there's a dead body found 2 streets away from Thirst, and then it all kicks off.
Amazing. I like that. That's a cool little intro.
Nice.
Yeah,
That was fun.
and that is us for tonight. And just so you're aware, some of this may crop up again in the future.
I hope so.
I have a plan for around Christmas. I'm just putting that out there.
Amazing.
This is the most competent Lou has ever been.
I know. I felt like we were an actual pretty good team. That was cool.
I feel like it's because we're on the back foot for a lot of the other.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, here we're a bit more.
Yeah.
We had a mission.
The instigators. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, for everyone watching, thank you for joining us. We are Wayfarers League, and you can find us at wayfarersleague.com. There are links there to our Discord, to our Twitch and YouTube. If you're watching this now on Twitch, please make sure to give us a little follow so that you can get notified the next time we have a stream. We have a stream coming up tomorrow evening, which will be the continuation of our Homebrew Lab series, where Sarah and I and a guest work together to create a brand new piece of homebrew for 5e. If you are watching this on YouTube, please also make sure to like and subscribe and to leave us a comment, as all of those things help to boost us in the algorithm. But for now, everyone, thank you for joining us once more, and have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.